A private company is a part of the national economy that is not under direct government control. State Farm and Samsung are both private companies. A public company is a state-owned enterprise controlled by the government. The United States Postal Service and Amtrak are both public companies. Over the past few decades, all areas of business, including healthcare, utilities, and education, have tried to find a solution to best run that sector. Whether it be publicly owned or privately owned, those decisions have economic and societal impacts on countries worldwide. A part of the private sector that has a lot of controversy behind it is healthcare, due to its outrageous cost. Many economists believe that the introduction to the private sector should lead to an increase in competition, thus lowering costs and boosting efficiency. Although the cost of private healthcare in America still continues to rise. In the United States, most of the states have sold out their utility contracts for energy and water to private corporations. Many states that choose to sell off the responsibility of supplying utilities to the community do so in order to recover from fiscal deficits. This would give the states some financial relief. Although there are cases where shifting ownership from public to private has jeopardized public health and affordability of utilities. One of the most recently debated sectors on the topic of privatization is the educational system. Public schools, like Davis County and Owensboro schools, are supported by public funds, and private schools, like Mary Carco and Owensboro Catholic schools, are supported by private organizations rather than by the government. Charter schools are a combination of both schools.
What a charter school can do is it can say, and that's where the name comes, here's our charter, here's what we're going to do, and they get exempt from everything. So you basically say you have this pot of money, and these 800 schools over here have to follow all these rules. But these 5 schools can get the same share of money and not follow the rules.
With the charter schools being given so much freedom, they are able to teach and do what they please, even if it does not truly benefit the student.
Charter schools they're not required to teach anything, so they can teach what they want. So take, for example, the juniors today took the ACT. The charter school could say for the month before the ACT, we're going to do ACT prep. We're going to bring you in, we're going to just tutor you in the ACT over and over. Forget if you really learn that stuff, but we're going to cram it into you. Charters in Atlanta, and that was one of the first big places Georgia had charters, were really started to go after populations that we weren't serving well. So they were going after minorities where there was a gap. So there's a significant achievement gap with African Americans historically in public school. It's true in Davis County. And so you would get a charter and they would say, we can teach them and not have a gap.
When charter schools first started out, they were meant to be as a bridge between educational gaps with minorities, but being selective also allows charters to target the top students.
Well, charter schools tend to be selective. Like most charters don't take any student with special education needs. So they might have a limit on the number of students coming from poverty.
The selectiveness of charters further widens the education gap, putting minority and disabled students at a severe disadvantage for the future. Nevertheless, public and private schools will always coexist together.
Charter schools are selective in who they get into their program. So, good or bad, society still needs a place to send its youth.
No matter what type of school a student attends, there will be disadvantages present, even in public schools.
How do I make sure that kids get the right curriculum? Like take, for example, English. Based on who your 4 English teachers are, you might get different curriculums. Well, if your parents know to put you in the dual credit class, that raises the bar of your curriculum. If a teacher tells you to be in an honors class, chances are you're the better teacher. So is that really fair or equitable? And there's a
Providing proper and equal education should be the goal, whether the school is private or public. But just like in any sector of business, the answer to the problem is not just as simple as changing from the private sector to the public sector or vice versa.
I think the biggest misconception is that there was a cure-all to make great schools that was known, we'd all be doing it.
Whether privately owned or publicly owned, the best possible solution varies depending on the sector being discussed. Needless to say, this is an issue that is going to stick around for a long time.